All right. My idea worth spreading was a little bit different than some other people's. It is the idea of interdependency. I thought this would be something good to do instead of just kind of out of the box and kind of like a pay it forward type idea that I had. All right. So first off, I know we learned about interdependency in class, but according to a Google search that I did, the definition of interdependent is the relationship in which each member is dependent on the others. Pretty self-explanatory. So when you think about it, every issue you think of involves being dependent on others. Just some examples that I thought of and found was climate. Global climate change has been a huge thing issue that's been going on. And when you think about it, you rely on other countries and other people for trying to correct climate change. Crime. Crime is a big thing. Obviously, you have to depend on others to not break laws in order for crime to be down or for crimes not to happen. So there's one issue. Another one is technology. Pretty self-explanatory. Communication. I thought this was a perfect little picture of describing, the importance of being dependent on others when you're trying to communicate. Pretty funny little thing. They dropped the guy, as you can see his feet. Public health. I think this is a big one. You have to depend on others and depend on certain agencies to make sure you're safe. Who knows what disease would be going around if people didn't take the time to wash their hands or take certain medicines or, quarantine people who have deadly diseases. So health is a huge and perfect example of how important it is that we see that we depend on others. We also need each other for food. When you think about it, for food we need farmers. So farmers have to have all the supplies, seeds, all that type of stuff to make food. Farmers need trucks to get the food to population. So the farmers need the trucks that, they need truck drivers. They need the trucks, the mechanical people who work on trucks. They need the person who comes up with designs for trucks, just so that they can get the food to people like us. And then trucks need roads to reach farmers. So, truck drivers actually need construction workers. And when you think about it, even police officers who keep the roads safe and, even though you don't like the speeding tickets, those types of things are in play to keep other people safe. And the list can go on and on and on. Another thing is electricity. Electricity allows us to have lights and function as a daily society every single day. So when you think about it, you need the people who run the power plants to know what they're doing, and you're thankful that the person who came up with the power plant idea came up with it, because who knows where we would be right now. Another thing is banks. Banks allow us to get paid. So when your place of employment and banks work together to give you that paycheck, that gives you money. Money allows you and us to purchase all the things we need to survive, like food, gas, Netflix for some people. So, it really just completely goes full circle when you really sit down and think about it. This is a really good quote I found online. I don't know who said it because it didn't have a name or anything by it. But when you reflect on your personal freedom, you can't help but see the interdependence of life. We depend on people, lots of people. So my thought is, why don't people realize this? So I think people don't realize this because we're too busy. We're just, especially in America, we're a society that's, time is money. So we're just too busy to think about what things had to get done so that you could have that soda on your desk right now, or the Starbucks that you're going to get later when you're studying. You really don't take the time to think about what certain people had to do so that you could have the things you have right now. Or maybe at some points we're all just too competitive and we want to be the best. So we just don't really think about others. We just worry about ourselves. So maybe that can be a factor in some points. But my idea is just to create awareness and educate everyone about being interdependent or dependent on one another. So I would just want to start like a campaign, TV, commercials, just random things, kind of like the pay it forward thing. My first step would be to start in Tampa, obviously. I would start on campus, and then, spread to like UT or just do random little awareness things around the city at different events. And then my next thing would just spread to Florida. So I would bring it to other campuses around Florida, like FSU, UF. I think college campuses are like our major mode, what's the word for it? Major like drive for this project. So spreading it to like campuses like FSU would bring that to the capital. And then once at the capital, you can spread it and branch out to the entire U.S. All the other campuses around the U.S. and even to Washington D.C. Just this idea that people need just to like take time and think about everything that other people have to do to have what they have, and even what you have done so that other people have what they have. And my last step would go global. I was actually thinking of an idea, and apparently it's already been done. I found out when I was like researching this, but no, but Interdependence Day is actually a real thing. I kind of thought about doing some kind of day like this because of my previous leadership class last semester. We did a day about being social, and it was just all about being social with others. So I was thinking about that, but apparently it's already been done. So just jump on board with this movement. This year was actually held in September in Ireland, and it included 15 countries. And their mission statement is international effort to explore constructive approaches to global justice and peace. So it's just important to realize that, the importance of interdependence, how important it is to everyone living their everyday life. And just some fun facts about this day. It's been held in Los Angeles, Mexico City, Casablanca, Istanbul, and Paris. And this is actually the 11th year that it was held. And another fun little fact is that Ben Barber is the founder and president right now, and he actually studied at Rutgers University and has been to a bunch of things in the United States. So my biggest thing would be jumping on board with him and trying to get this thing going. And that's my idea of what's spreading.